Hello everyone, welcome to a new episode of Matthew's Sports Talk. Got some things to talk about today. But first, how about we start with a game NFL game that just wrapped up a couple minutes ago. The Los Angeles Rams beat the Chicago Bears 24-10. Now, I may have not have said this verbally out loud, but when I heard about the quarterback switch from Trubisky to Foles, I was going to say, your defense can keep you in games, but your offense needs to win them. And that's not what happened tonight. Nick Foles was feeling the pressure the whole night, threw for a total of 261 yards, and he threw 2 interceptions. The only touchdown the Bears scored was a defensive touchdown. It was a fumble recovery, so kudos to them. Their defense does what they're supposed to do, but it wasn't enough. And Jared Goff threw for 219 yards and 2 touchdowns. So, as predicted, the Bears against quality opponents this year, absolute crap. Okay. I will correct myself. They are... Let me pull up their schedule again. The Bears are 1-2 this year against quality opponents, losing to both the Colts and the Rams, and then winning against the Buccaneers. And I define quality wins as teams that are over 500, which the Colts, who are 4-2, the Buccaneers, who are 5-2, and the Rams, who are 5-2 now, are considered quality teams or quality wins. So yeah, they're 1-2 against quality teams this year. So just goes to show you. Recapping the rest of the NFL action. Thursday night, we already talked about that in my last episode. Eagles won 22-21. Lions beating the Atlanta Falcons 23-22. Now, there was much discussion about this in the sports world today on various talk shows I've watched. First Take with my man Stephen A. Smith, NFL Live, and everyone else did put the blame on Todd Gurley for accidentally scoring the touchdown, but I'll give Gurley a tiny part of the blame for that. I mean, kind of hard to stop yourself when you're moving. But I do feel like I should offload the rest of that blame onto Atlanta's defense. You allow Matthew Stafford to go 75 yards in less than a minute and a half. I mean, that's just bad. It's just bad. So, Falcons, don't just blame Todd Gurley for that one. That was a team loss. The Browns beat the Bengals 37-34. Sadly, OBJ, on the first throw by Baker Mayfield, got injured with a torn ACL, so he's out for the remainder of the season. After that, Baker Mayfield was lights out. And he would need to be, because that was the only way that they could beat the Bengals, because who else was also lights out? Joe Burrow. So, it's Browns. You still need to beat someone. You're 5-0 against the Bengals, and various other teams. So don't count your blessings just yet. The one of the games I watched, the Steelers beat the Titans 27-24. So I have 3 words for the Tennessee Titans. Fire your kicker. Stephen Gostkowski has got to go. He's missed 6 out of the 16 field goal kicks that he has attempted this season. And he's almost cost you. He almost cost you the game in Denver, the first game of the year. And he did cost you this one. So, he's got to go. And Steelers remain. The Steelers are the only unbeaten team left in the NFL, which I'll get to another team later on in a little bit. Saints beat the Panthers 27-24. Good divisional matchup. But yeah, it's clear the Saints are definitely missing Michael Thomas more. And I'm partially glad that I actually traded him away, because he would have yet to done anything for me on fantasy. So, of course, I'll have my fantasy talk a little bit later on. Bills beat the Jets 18-10. So, Bills not getting a single touchdown, 6 field goals, and yet the Jets couldn't beat them. God, I don't know what to say. Sam Darnold threw for 120 yards and 2 interceptions. Oh my God. I don't think the Jets could get any worse. I really don't. I'll come back to that game. Packers beat the Texans 35-20. Devonta Adams ran open. 196 receiving yards for 2 touchdowns. It's like the Texans didn't realize Devonta Adams was the Green Bay Packers' #1 wide receiver. So, obviously, they forgot to scheme for that. Actually, you know what? I won't go back to that previous. So, the Dallas Cowboys. Outside of the Jets, I think the other team that is just as bad as the Jets right now is the Dallas Cowboys. They lost to the Washington football team 25-3. And I will say this. Obviously, Dak Prescott means a lot to this organization. But when the guy that is the backup that comes in to take over the helm for the remainder of the season, Andy Dalton, gets a vicious, and it was vicious, hit to the head that, yes, Wazan Mack, yes, the player, I forget his name, Bostic, he did get ejected for the hit. For some reason, he's not being suspended. I don't know why. I would suspend him at least 2 games for that hit. That was savage. But when no players on the offensive side come to check on him, see that he's all right, and maybe scream at Bostic for it, that just shows you how much of a discord there is inside the organization right now. It's bad. It's really, really bad. I would not want to be a Cowboys fan right now. I actually like my Vikings at 1-5 right now better than the 2-5 Dallas Cowboys. And yeah, our season might be over. And the Cowboys season, they're only a half a game behind in the very, very crappy NFC East. But yeah, it looks really, really bad. So, the Buccaneers beat the Raiders 45-20. And then to tie into that, the 49ers beat the Patriots 33-6. Cam Newton, 98 yards throwing and 3 interceptions. Compared to Tom Brady, 369 yards and 4 touchdowns. I think the Patriots are missing Tom Brady just a little bit. But God, the Patriots look bad. And for some reason, Max Kellerman on First Take keeps on rambling, saying that if they get to the playoffs, Belichick can have a perfect game plan in order to beat the Chiefs. Shut that crap off. All right? I am done talking about the Patriots. I am happy about this. They will probably not make the playoffs. If they do, they're going to be the number 7 seed, and they're going to get wiped out in the first round, whoever they play against. Sorry, the Patriots dynasty is done. It was done when Tom Brady left. So, yeah, it's done. I don't want to talk about it anymore. And I'm glad, because I hate the Patriots. Because of the fact that so far they're a dynasty or something. They've been a very, very successful team. But you know what? That's over. I'm glad. Done. Don't want to talk about it anymore. The Chiefs beat the Broncos 43-16. Sadly, my man Patrick Mahomes, he only got me 12 fantasy points. I really didn't need him to give me 12 many fantasy points because I was going to wipe the floor with that team anyway. But, yeah, no, the Chiefs showing that they can score in many different ways. They can score on defense, which they had a pick six. And they also had a kickoff return for a touchdown, so they can score on special teams as well. So pick your poison with the Chiefs. The Chargers beat the Jaguars 39-29. Good job, Chargers. And oh yes, the Arizona Cardinals beat the Seattle Seahawks 37-34 in overtime. So the Seahawks are no longer undefeated, leaving the Steelers as the only undefeated team remaining in the NFL. Oh, how I can talk about the Seattle Seahawks. You know, when you play things a little close to the chest, eventually you're going to suffocate. And that's what happened to the Seattle Seahawks. You play enough of these close games, eventually one's going to come back and bite you on the ass. And guess what? Russell Wilson, people say is the front runner for the MVP. I don't see it anymore. I really don't. He threw 3 interceptions. He has 3 interceptions. And the guy he played against, Kyler Murray, a younger guy, threw for 360 yards, 3 touchdowns, and also ran for 67 yards and a touchdown. Russell Wilson also had 388 yards, so he had more yards. Had the same amount of throwing touchdowns. And he also ran for 84 yards, so he ran for 17 yards more. But still, he threw 3 interceptions. That's not something that an MVP candidate does. Right now, if I were to put it bluntly, I would say my top 2, number 1 right now I would say would probably be Aaron Rodgers. Number 2, Patrick Mahomes. And number 3, Tom Brady. Oh, no. Number 3, I put Ryan Tannehill, actually. Number 4, I put Tom Brady. And then number 5 is Russell Wilson. That's where I put Russell Wilson right now. So, but there were some amazing things that happened in this game. PK Metcalf, I think is his name. Oh, TJ Metcalf, sorry. Arizona had a interception, and it was returned almost for a pick 6. It almost returned like 95, 96 yards for a pick 6. But DK Metcalf ran that guy down. I think it was, I forget what the guy's name was, but he ran his ass down. So that was like the play of the game, or the play of the week, actually. And Arizona's kicker. Arizona iced their own kicker by calling a timeout. He made the first attempt, and then they called a timeout. They missed the second attempt, and I was like, God damn it, really? But luckily, on the following drive, Russell Wilson threw an interception, and Arizona came back. And redemption, the kicker got in for another field goal attempt and got it. And the rest is history. So that's how Week 7 of the NFL went. And now we can talk my Week 7 or Week 8 power rankings. Actually, I'm going to do this a little bit differently. No, I'm going to keep it how it is. I did actually, if anybody follows my Facebook page, Matthew Sports Talk, you can see I posted a picture last week of my power rankings. I have pocket helmets that organize the pocket helmets by how I rank them, which I will probably do. Probably post another picture, but For now, I think it's just easier to talk it like this. So, say number 32, no surprise, the Jets, the only team that has not won a game this season so far. And probably won't. Staying at number 31, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Moving down a spot at number 30 is the Atlanta Falcons. Moving down one spot at number 29, Cincinnati Bengals. Moving down one spot at number 28 is the New York Giants. Moving down 7 spots, I know, it's kind of a drastic jump, but that was how bad they lost. Was at number 27 is the Dallas Cowboys. Down from number 20. Up 4 spots at number 26, Washington Football Team. At number 25, down 3, the Texans. At number 24, down 3, the Denver Broncos. Staying at number 23 on their bye week is the Minnesota Vikings. I will say this. I think the Vikings are the best one-win team right now in the NFL. Out of the Texans, the Giants, the Bengals, the Falcons, the Jaguars. And of course, you can't include the Jets, but of course they're better than the Jets. Down 3 spots at number 22 is the Patriots. Up 5 at number 21, the Philadelphia Eagles. At number 20, up 4 spots is the Los Angeles Chargers. At number 19, up 6, the biggest jump of the week is the Detroit Lions at number 19. And then, of course, the biggest drop was Cowboys, drop 7. Staying on number 18, even though that they lost, is the Carolina Panthers. Staying on number 17 on their bye week, the Miami Dolphins. Down 6 spots at number 16 is the Las Vegas Raiders. Down 1 spot, even though they were on their bye week, is the Indianapolis Colts. At number 14, Colts were at number 15, Raiders were at number 16. At number 14, the 49ers up 2. At number 13, up 2, the New Orleans Saints. At number 12, up 1, Cleveland Browns. At number 11, down 3, the Chicago Bears. At number 10, up 1, the Buffalo Bills. At number 9, cracking the top 10 for the first time, the Arizona Cardinals are up 3 spots to number 9. Down 3 spots at number 8 is the Tennessee Titans. Up 2 spots at number 7 is the Los Angeles Rams. Up 1 spot at number 6, Green Bay Packers. Up 1 spot at number 5, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Down 2 spots at number 4, Seattle Seahawks. Up 1 at number 3, Baltimore Ravens. Up 1 at number 2, Kansas City Chiefs. And staying at number 1 is the only undefeated team remaining, the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, that's the power rankings for Week 8. Let's just preview Week 8 a little bit, shall we? I'll probably go more into detail with my picks later this week. But let's just talk about Week 8 for a little bit. See if there's any worthwhile games. My Vikings are taking on the Packers. I'm not too excited about that. But, hey, it's a divisional game, so you never know. Thursday night, Falcons at the Panthers. Big whoop. I'll take the Panthers. Yeah, let me just do my Week 8 picks. So I'll take the Panthers or the Falcons on Thursday night. I'll say Packers beat my Vikings. Patriots at Bills. Critical divisional game. And I think the Bills will pull off the win. Titans at the Bengals. Yeah, that's a wash. I'd take the Titans. Here's an interesting one. Raiders at the Browns. Browns can definitely prove themselves in this game. And I think they'll make the game interesting. But I'll still pick the Raiders. Colts at the Lions. I'll take the Colts. Jets at the Chiefs. Like that's even a question. Chiefs. Rams at the Dolphins. Could be interesting, but right now I think I'll give a slight edge to the Rams as the Dolphins are starting rookie quarterback Tua Tagovailoa. I think he's going to feel the pressure from Aaron Donald and whatnot. This would probably be the game of the week. Might be the game of the year. Number 1 ranked Pittsburgh Steelers at number 3 ranked Baltimore Ravens. I give a slight edge to the Ravens, but it's a toss-up, really. The only reason I'm giving a slight edge to the Ravens is because they're at home. And I don't believe the Ravens have had fans in the stands this season because of COVID. So, Chargers at the Broncos, and that's a toss-up. I'll take the Chargers. Saints at the Bears. Hey, look, another quality opponent for the Chicago Bears. And guess what? They're going to lose it. Saints going to win. 49ers at the Seahawks. Could be a very interesting matchup, considering the Seahawks are coming off a divisional loss to the Cardinals. I think Seahawks will win it. I think it will be close. Cowboys at Eagles, which matchup of the garbage NFC East. And it could this game could honestly determine how the division goes for the rest of the season. I'll give it to the Eagles. And considering how bad the Cowboys are right now, I wouldn't be surprised if the Eagles blew them out. And then the Monday night game, it's not really that interesting. You got the Buccaneers at the Giants. I'll take the Buccaneers and that will probably get wipe out. So, yep, that's the week 8 for the NFL. Now, let's talk fantasy football. I had a lot of grievances this week. Starting with my Minneapolis Skull Squad, who did win this week by 40 points, 95-55, but only because my idiot opponent is one of those teams that I know just auto-picked in the draft and doesn't really pay attention during the season because they had 2 players on bye in their starting lineup. So, highlights from that team. Chase Edmonds, 21.5 fantasy points. Thank you very much. Tyreek Hill, 17.5 fantasy points. And Jamal Williams, 21.4 fantasy points. Aaron Jones was injured, so I like to see that kind of production from a backup. So, disappointments. Patrick Mahomes, like I said, only got me 12 points. Oh, wait, one more. Randy Bullock, my kicker, got me 10 points, which that's very good. Yeah, Patrick Mahomes only got me 12 points, which was disappointing, but, I really didn't need him to give me that much. And Chase Claypool. Now, if the Steelers had lost against the Titans, I would have been yelling and cussing and all sorts of manners going after them for not using Chase Claypool. He was targeted all of 3 times on Sunday, and he netted 1 catch for negative yards to give me an all-total fantasy point total of 0.8 fantasy points. 0.8. Less than 1 fantasy point. So I would have been... and I know he was covered like a number 1 wide receiver, but come on. Seriously? What the hell? So, yeah, that didn't make me very happy. So, moving on to my Minnesota Kings team, which lost decisively, 131-87. But once again, Jamal Williams, 21.4 fantasy points. Deshaun Watson had a good game, despite losing to Green Bay. Got me 24.16 fantasy points. Cole Beasley, I'm glad I put you in instead of Cooper Kupp. You got me 22.2 fantasy points. So, but yeah, once again, Chase Claypool, 0.8 fantasy points. Jonnu Smith, tight end for the Tennessee Titans. Only 1 reception for 9 yards for 1.9 fantasy points. What the fuck? And Keelan Cole Sr., I know you play on the Jacksonville Jaguars, but you got 1 reception for 12 yards for a total of 2.2 fantasy points. So, your ass will be back on the bench where it belongs. So yeah, that's a little fantasy football talk. Let's talk a little World Series. So, last game I was telling about how crazy of a win the Rays got in Game 4. Now I'm going to tell you how bad of a loss they suffered in Game 5. They lost 4-2. And throughout the day, I've watched on the talk shows about there was a play. A Rays player, Margot Robbie, tried to steal home. And I credit it was a good idea. Kershaw's back was to him. He had a good lead. Turner was not playing close to third base, but I don't like the decision. I felt like it was overcalculated and unneeded. So, tomorrow night, definitely I'll be watching Game 6. Dodgers lead 3-2. Rays got Snell on the mound compared to Gosselin for the Dodgers. I suspect it will be a bullpen game for the Dodgers. So it's going to be interesting to see how it lines up. Right now, I give a slight edge to the Rays. But it really depends if Snell has a good game. He's been decent so far this postseason. He has a 2-2 record with a 3.33 ERA, which is pretty average for a pitcher. So we'll see. And then Game 7 will be on Wednesday. So most likely my next episode will probably be on Thursday. And then I can talk about the World Series and whatnot, because it would have been all done. So, yeah, that pretty much concludes this episode of Matthew's Sports Talk. So until the next episode, this is Matthew signing off.